Hi everyone, it's week 5. Time for your week 5 wake up call for English 101. Here's your listing in the course schedule. So you'll see you have some reading to do this week. Please start out by checking out chapter 5 in the academic writer. Now this chapter is called Analyzing and Synthesizing Texts. Obviously that's your task for this week and for this upcoming assignment that you're doing. As you know, this assignment asks you to read 2 sources that have been provided for you. And if you're still a little confused about that, I'll explain it in more detail in just a minute. But you'll need to read those 2 sources by Wednesday. By Sunday, please read the rest of that chapter, chapter 5, and then you'll locate your 3rd source for your synthesis essay. And you also have a discussion post due. So part 1 is due on Wednesday and part 2 is due on Sunday. Well, here's your week 5 in the modules, and you can see you just have 2 things to do there. The first link, lesson 2.2, is an overview of the assignment that you're working on, and the second one there is the link to the discussion post that you're working on. And you can always tell which are the discussion posts by seeing there it has September 22nd, so that would be the day that it's due, and it tells you that it's worth 15 points. So that's a little clue. When you look through the modules and look at those entries, you can tell what each one of those are. Before we go any further, let's just clarify what we mean when we say analyze and synthesize. So analyze, think of it in terms of breaking things down into smaller pieces and then looking at each individual piece to gain an understanding of the larger whole. This is actually a quote from your book. When you analyze, you determine how a text, an object, or a body of data is structured or organized. So you're looking at the smaller pieces of data or the smaller bits of text to get the most meaning from it. You also assess its effectiveness or validity. Another word for validity might be credibility. How trustworthy is it? How reliable is it? Synthesis really means to pull things together. To synthesize means to take 1 or 2 or more things, put them together, and create something that is greater than the sum of its parts. So here the author says, synthesis is a counterpart to analysis. When you synthesize, you explore connections and contradictions between 2 or more texts, objects, or bodies of data. Often you also bring your own experience to bear on the subject under consideration, indicating where you agree and where you disagree with those whose words and thoughts you are exploring. So that's part of the synthesis, is not only looking at maybe 2 or 3 different authors' ideas, but also bringing in your experience and your thoughts and perspectives. So let's just quickly go over, this is the description of your discussion post. So remember, the articles for this assignment are listed in week 4, and there were 3 of them. And each one of those is about some aspect of student loans, something that most of you have at least a passing interest in. So you're going to choose 2 of those. And in part 1 of your discussion, there is a list of questions that I would like you to apply to those articles. So each one of those articles will get this treatment, so to speak. That's due on Wednesday. Part 2, you're going to take the 3rd source that you locate. Okay, in a minute I will give you some hints as to where you might find some of those. You also do not need to respond to your peers' discussion this week, but I'm sure some of you would find it helpful to glance over what some other people are thinking about in terms of these articles, because many people obviously are using the same 2 articles that you're going to be writing about, and then you might be interested to see what sorts of 3rd sources people are choosing for this assignment. So here's just a little reminder. Here are the list of the 3 articles. Just jump up 1 week in the modules and you'll see those. Each one of them links to an article. So choose two of those, and then you're going to find that third source. Now, where are you going to find your third source? You can do a search. The best search word, of course, would be student loans, but there might be some other aspect of it that you decide to explore. Student loans and mental health, student loans and the economy. Okay, however you're choosing to shape your paper. So WSU libraries, and remember, they have librarians literally on call 24/7 that you can do a real-time chat with. You can even talk to them on the phone if you're really stumped about how to find what you need. Google Scholar, okay, always be a little careful about Google because you know it's going to take you all kinds of places, and you are really looking for good, reliable, solid information. Okay, so no Wikipedia for this assignment. You might just decide to do a video. Look for a TED Talk or some other credible video source. Newspapers or online journal articles, a blog or a vlog by a credible author. Okay, so the question is, how do we know if a source or an author is credible? And here are just a few things to look for. That they're a recognized expert in the field, and you might actually have to do just a real quick search on this person. What experience do they have? Where do they work? What position do they hold? Have they been published in peer-reviewed journals or other, credible sources of information? Do they have academic or other quality credentials related to the subject? Now be very, very careful here. Just because somebody has, doctor in front of their name does not necessarily mean that their academic credentials are in the subject that you're researching. Okay, so make sure that their qualifications are directly connected to whatever it is that you're looking for. Do they have significant experience in the area? And here's a real key. When somebody is writing about something, are they very transparent about where that information comes from? Do they cite their sources? Do they provide footnotes? Are there links in the body of the text to other sources? Do they say where the original research was done and who did it and when it was done? Those things are crucial to looking for good, solid sources. Okay, so I think you have everything you need now to be working on this upcoming assignment. If you are confused, there's my Zoom office hours. That would be this Tuesday. That's the 21st between 10 a.m. and 12. I'll have the Zoom meeting space open. You can just jump in and we can talk. There's the link, and I'm not sure if you'll need the passcode or not, but I thought I would just put it in there for you. And remember, you can always contact me to set up an appointment to talk if you'd like to do that. Also, if you have any questions about this assignment, please post your questions under the Ask the Instructor discussion post, because that way somebody else might benefit from the answer as well. So, all right. Hope that will help you out, and have a great week.